Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Hello, Peter.
What is up, Comic Comrades? While you patiently await another Spider-Man No Way Home trailer and the release of Venom There Be Carnage, let me tell you why the upcoming Spider-Man threequel might be the best interpretation of Spider-Man we have ever seen. Stay tuned till the end of the video and don't forget to click the like button, subscribe and aim for that notification bell. Now that we finally have our first look at the much anticipated, to put it mildly, Spider-Man No Way Home, we can start piecing elements of the story together with a bit more ease. Sure, plenty of mysteries remain in what's shaping up to be the most epic Spider-Man event in arguably any medium, but we can dispatch some of the old rumors. There's no way Savage Land gets introduced, right? And of course, devise new ones, like does Peter get astral projection into the bodies of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man?
Hey, you guys. No playing in the streets.
Yes, Mr. Spider-Man.
See ya.
Epic, right? Fans were shocked by the cliffhanger in Far From Home, in which Mysterio, played by the always great Jake Gyllenhaal, gets in one last blow and reveals Spider-Man's true identity to the world via J.K. Simmons' J. Jonah Jameson's broadcast.
Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker.
In the recently released trailer for No Way Home, Peter goes to Doctor Strange for help in erasing this knowledge from the world, and though warned of the dangerous nature of the spell, Strange performs it anyway and accidentally creates a rift in the multiverse. Of course, things don't go as planned, and with the multiverse of madness building across WandaVision, Loki and What If, Peter Parker seemingly finds himself besieged by variants who might be new faces to him, but are familiar to longtime Spider-Man fans.
Getting on my nerves?
I have a knack for that.
Not anymore. But I'm offering you a choice. Join me. Imagine what we could accomplish together.
Dr. Octopus, portrayed by the returning and a bit digitally airbrushed Alfred Molina, and maybe Defoe's Green Goblin and probably even more villains. Any way you look at it, No Way Home's ambitious narrative will have to address Peter's identity crisis, a vital appearance by Doctor Strange, the development of the multiverse in the MCU following the events of Loki, and a Spider-Man franchise crossover event that has been the source of fan speculations for years.
Who is it that breaks your fall, puts out the flames, and saves your children?
They love me.
With all this content to cover, No Way Home has to be the greatest Spider-Man film. Peter's personal character growth, combined with these game-changing multiversal events, is an amazing recipe for success. And with villains from past Spider-Man franchise films such as Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus, William Dafoe as the Green Goblin and Jamie Foxx's Electro reprising their roles, all point to Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield making appearances as their respective Peter Parkers as well, though they have not been officially confirmed in the cast listings.
How much?
You're that spider guy.
Spider-Man.
Huh?
I'm Spider-Man.
We've been vying for an MCU Spider-Verse ensemble film for years, and even if Garfield and Maguire do not make an appearance, the introduction of Spider-Man villains from other universes is enough in and of itself to warrant a spectacular film, rivaling that of any Avenger movie, even Avengers Endgame.
What did you do?
I went for the head.
On top of the daunting nature of introducing the Spider-Verse to the MCU, No Way Home could also offer insight into the nature of the universe after the events of Loki. Since Doctor Strange's decision to help Peter appears to be a catalyst that unleashes the multiverse on Earth, it is likely that audiences will get their first clues as to how Doctor Strange will be a leading hero moving forward.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
I think you'll find our will equal to yours.
No Way Home will also likely set the stage for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But I digress. The heart of any Spider-Man film is Peter's personal journey. The balance of maintaining a social life and the life of a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is one that fans have resonated with no matter which actor wore the suit. In addition to all of its vital multiversal content, No Way Home will also have to do justice to Peter's identity and character development, especially since Doctor Strange hints that Peter's identity crisis is causing the multiverse to become more unstable.
problem is you trying to live two different lives. The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
And considering the scope of what it plans to achieve, Spider-Man No Way Home could prove to be the most important MCU film since Iron Man, and fans will gladly go see it if it means seeing their most sought-after Spider-Verse fantasies finally brought to the silver screen. Oh, and speaking of Spider-Verses,
Hi guys. Konnichiwa. Hajimemashite. Yoroshiku.
This could literally not get any weirder.
I think No Way Home could be way better than the animated classic.
It can get weirder. I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other reason.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was highly regarded by Spidey fans, topping any lists of favorite films starring the hero since the animated movie came out in 2018. And as the internet talks through what could be in store for Spider-Man No Way Home, Christopher Miller, who produced the movie with writer-director Phil Lord, shared a great response to the live-action Spider-Verse potentially coming to fruition. In light of the trailer talk, Christopher Miller dug up a super wild fact about the making of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. He and Phil Lord actually pitched to Sony to involve Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in their film, but the studio shut it down, calling it, quote, too soon to explore the idea. As Miller quipped, it doesn't seem to be too soon now that the internet is in a tailspin over the idea, whether or not that actually happens on the big screen this holiday season.
Pizza time.
But we should put some credit where credit is due. Miller and Lord had a massive idea when Into the Spider-Verse was in the works. It was so big that it has dominated fan conventions since we've caught wind that Tom Holland's Peter Parker will be delving into multiversal craziness with Doctor Strange. Fans really love Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's versions of Spider-Man, even if their movies ended dismally. And since it didn't happen in an animated version, maybe it could in Spider-Man No Way Home. It would be a shame if Sony spun out Lord and Miller's idea for the live-action space, but we'd still definitely love to see Maguire and Garfield faces lock with Holland's Spidey on the big screen too. You could see how Maguire could fit into the place of Jake Johnson's character, or perhaps in addition to his introduction given the vast amount of Spider-People in Into the Spider-Verse. I personally cannot wait to see Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen in live action.
I'm done. I'm a man.
So you're like new here, right?
But Spider-Man No Way Home could cause major debates among Marvel fans, according to Benedict Cumberbatch. He discussed the hugely anticipated movie with Variety ahead of its release this Christmas. Oh boy, it's gonna be a great film, I think, he began, before labeling returning director John Watts and his filmmaking squad genius and utterly brilliant. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and there'll be a lot of debate about it, I'm sure, but I mean, it's a daring, brilliant concept. The star went on to hail No Way Home's audacity even on paper. It's like, how the hell is that gonna work? Laughed Cumberbatch. I'll be really interested to see how it comes out, but I'm pretty certain it'll be a hit. I think he's definitely right. Spidey's reliance on magic isn't an unfamiliar scenario, nor is his penchant for turning to Doctor Strange when his Parker luck gets the better of him.
What is he, your ward?
No. I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. I'm Spider-Man, then.
In fact, Peter's history with Doctor Strange and magic may provide some indication of just how messy his life is about to become. Stephen's ability to alter memory would come back more than 40 years later during the infamous comic book story One More Day. While the events of this encounter aren't referenced, one can't help but wonder if that planted the seed in Peter's head for the deal that was to come. Spidey and Strange teamed up several more times during the 70s and 80s in the pages of Marvel Team Up. Issues 21, 50, 76, 80 and Annual Number 5 all saw the Web-Slinger and Sorcerer Supreme join forces, often to stop some magical menace or recover some mystic artifact, be it a wand, orb, or a thingamajig. In issue 80, Spider-Man actually joins forces with Strange's witchy girlfriend, Clea, to stop a demonically possessed Strange. So, for those theorizing that the Strange we see in the trailer who cast the spell for Peter is actually Mephisto or a possessed Strange, well, there's a precedent for it. Though I don't necessarily buy it, given Strange has a long history of being one of the more morally dubious Marvel heroes. As for Annual Issue 5, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange join forces with the Scarlet Witch, among others, to stop the demon Set, who has invaded Earth from another dimension.
In a given space, only the witch who cast them can use her magic. Thanks for the lesson.
While there is no word of whether Parker will play a role in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, this issue showcases a dynamic between the three heroes that would certainly be enticing to see on screen, and wonder is already confirmed for the Doctor Strange sequel. Spider-Man and Doctor Strange's journey came full circle with the one-shot graphic novel Spider-Man Doctor Strange: The Way to Dusty Death by Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway. The graphic novel sees the two heroes facing off against Xandu. In this one, Spider-Man finds himself in the Death Dimension, providing a chance encounter with the spirits of Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Should maybe consider coming in through the lobby.
When he's brought back to Earth, he finds himself in Xandu's body before Strange returns their souls to their respective owners. This story right here makes the idea that Peter astral projects into variant versions of Peter Parker even more likely, and may explain why in the trailer Holland's Parker is wearing the exact same suit Maguire's Parker wears in Spider-Man 3. Maybe only when Strange places Peter's spirit back in the right body will we see Tobey Maguire, Garfield and Holland together. And as for the Death Dimension, will we finally meet the MCU's Uncle Ben? I'll be upfront, One More Day isn't a good Spider-Man comic book, but it is one of the most influential stories ever told. And if the trailer for No Way Home is any indication, a loose adaptation of the story would do wonders for the broader Marvel Cinematic Universe. In this story by J. Michael Straczynski and artist Joe Quesada, Peter asks Doctor Strange for help after Aunt May is nearly murdered by the Kingpin. It is unlikely that she'll live, and so Peter asks the Sorcerer Supreme to restore her life. Strange tells him that resurrecting the dead, or soon-to-be-dead, are powers beyond even him. Peter, in his desperation, attempts to cast a spell on his own, and as a result is severely injured. After Strange heals him, Peter turns to Mephisto to make a bargain to trade his marriage to Mary Jane to bring Aunt May back to full health. Yeah, it's a dumb choice, but it's only part of the story. In 2010, Quesada followed up on this story with One Moment in Time, in which we are told that the reason why everyone seemingly forgot Peter Parker was Spider-Man after he revealed it during the events of Civil War was because Doctor Strange, Tony Stark and Reed Richards devised a plan to mind-wipe everyone's memory of his secret identity, including Aunt May's and Mary Jane's. It is a complicated bit of comic book retconning that looks to be handled in a far more interesting way in No Way Home, which is sure to unleash some dire consequences. It is likely that elements of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange's various encounters will play a role in No Way Home, but the bones of the story seem to be most directly inspired by One Moment in Time. And if that's the case, will the following MCU adventure of Spider-Man begin with no one knowing his identity? Or will there be some last-minute spell that allows Peter Parker to get his secret identity back and keep his most treasured relationships intact? This is Peter Parker we're talking about, so it's not likely. But every time Spider-Man has had a major interaction with Doctor Strange, it has left him changed on a physical, mental, emotional, and dimensional level. We expect nothing less by the end of No Way Home. The devil may be in the details, but Spidey and Strange are capable of upending all they hold sacred entirely by themselves. So, those were the reasons I think Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be the best Spider-Man movie we'll ever see. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Until next time, peace out!